Hi, everybody, and welcome to Module 3 of Becoming the Cycle Breaker, this foundational training to get you on the path to be the parent you know you can be. So, in Module 3, which is titled Tips to Prevent You from Reacting, I'm going to first cover off, give you some tips to help you in the moment when you can feel that reaction bubbling within you. And then I'm going to move into tips to prevent you from actually getting to that moment. Okay, so starting off with the tips to help you in that moment of overwhelm, that moment of reaction, that moment of feeling like you're going to lose it. Now, if you're like me, you will have likely experienced many situations with your kids where you have just been triggered to the point of complete rage, where it feels like you're being possessed by rage or something has taken over. You've lost all consciousness and all ability basically to reason with yourself, and fight or flight, just letting loose in the situation has taken over, and you might go into a screaming rampage at your kids, yelling at them, even becoming physical with them. Sometimes when we are in that extreme rage, despite that something deep within us knowing that we don't actually want to do this, there is a reaction that we just can't prevent in that moment. We've let it go too far. So what is actually happening here is when you're being triggered and you're getting yourself all worked up. So things are happening within your brain and within your central nervous system. So when you can feel it amplifying, you can feel it amplifying. And you've got basically about 90 seconds from awareness. So awareness is the first step. Becoming aware that you are about to go into full-blown reaction mode before it actually happens. And once you've hit that awareness stage, like you can feel it, you're like, I'm about to lose it. Eckhart Tolle says something really cool that resonated with me is like, what does losing it mean? What are you about to lose? About to lose my shit? What that actually means is I'm about to lose consciousness. My ability to reason, my ability to focus, my ability to prevent myself from doing this is about to shut down because my whole system is going into overdrive. My central nervous system taking over, going into full-blown flight or fight, which means my subconscious programming, the triggers, and if you've watched the previous modules, those things from our childhood, those stories, those narratives that we're holding on to, as in, I am now in a dangerous situation, those programs are about to take over. Subconscious mind is taking over. You're in this situation is fearful for me, and I need to do everything I can to protect myself, be it yell at your kids, become physical with your kids, send them away, whatever it is. And so if you can get that awareness before it is about to happen, that's the first step. And I remember when I first started on my journey, the awareness would happen and I could not prevent. I still couldn't prevent it. But I just kept on going. I was aware. That's the first step. That's awesome. That's awesome. And just recognizing what I had done well. I was aware. And then eventually I started to be able to prevent it. So how to prevent it in that 90 seconds. So you've got about 90 seconds to calm yourself, bring yourself back to consciousness, back to reasoning. And the most crucial thing that you can do here is utilize your breath. It is the best tool, your most useful tool, a priceless tool to use in this situation. So it all starts with the breath to calm the nervous system, because, you know, I'm probably telling you things that you already know here. But if you were in real immediate danger, as in the saber-toothed tiger is coming to get you, you would not be able to stop yourself and breathe. Breathe slowly and calmly. And so by doing that, you are overriding that fight or flight. You are overriding that subconscious program. You are, with your breath, telling your body that, hey, no, this actually is not a dangerous situation. I'm not about to die, and I can bring myself back to a neutral state in order to be able to do something different. And so the breathing techniques that I find are the most useful in this scenario is a simple square breath. So square breath, you might envision a square, or you might look at a photo frame on the wall, or you might just simply count. But it's basically equal counts in, hold, equal counts out, hold, equal counts in, hold, equal counts out, hold. So you couldn't see my hand there, but it's like in, out, in, out. So basically a square breath. So usually it would be in for 4, hold, out for 4, hold, and just repeat, and just repeat. And if you can do that for 30 seconds even, but the full 90 seconds, that is amazing. That will definitely be able to calm you. And you just tell your kids, and this is a great way to model emotion regulation for your children. You tell your kids, mama is getting worked up here. Mama's getting a bit stressed out and overwhelmed. I need to breathe for a moment. I'm not going to answer you. I am breathing. And just do your best to shut it out. Just shut it out. No one's going to die for a moment. Do your best to switch off your thoughts. Do not focus on the kids, what's happened, why you're in this state. Just focus on the breathing. As the best that you can, no thoughts, focus on breathing. And the other breath that I find to be super, super helpful is just the elongated out breath. So in for 4 or 5, and then out for 8 or 9, whatever works for you, or whatever counts work for you. But basically a shorter breath in, and then that elongated out breath. Now, in your first couple of breaths with doing this breathing, if you actually make a sound as you exhale, that will calm you even faster, because that sound operates the vagus nerve running down the whole of your body, from your brain through to your gut. And the vagus nerve releases hormones which are calming and relaxing to us. So if you go, you could even choose to chant Om or something there. I can already instantly feel a massive calming and shift in my energy just from doing those 2 breaths. So that, just doing 3 or 4 breaths like that with the sound, and then moving on to continued elongated out breaths with no sound, that again is telling your body that you are in fact safe. There is no immediate danger. And then once you've, with your breathing, have gotten your central nervous system into a calmer, more neutralized state, we can then introduce thoughts. Now, when you are in that neutral state, we can look at the situation with a whole new perspective from the bigger picture. We can look at the perspective from our kids. Okay, my kids are bored, or my kids just want my attention. My kids are tired. Whatever the situation may be, it's age appropriate behavior. What they're displaying is age appropriate behavior. I am just feeling overwhelmed right now, and that is okay. I'm allowed to take my breath to calm me down. And this is what I'm going to choose different. I don't actually desperately need to do the dishes right now. I don't actually desperately need to make that phone call right this second. I can take 5 minutes to go and sit with my kids, give them some attention, work out what's happening, calm the situation, and let's try and bring everybody back down, back together. And by you regulating your emotions in that way, you're modeling very healthy emotional regulation. You're also helping your children to co-regulate, because the moment that you get fired up and your energy starts, then the same is going to happen to the children. They feed off you. They feed off your energy. So there is no good that comes from those reactive responses, because even if those reactive responses eventually get your kids to stop doing what you want them to do, it's more so out of fear than them actually learning a lesson. And so it's just win-win all round. You have calmed your body, which is also fantastic for your health, because when we're living in this constant reactive reaction mode, we have the stress hormones running crazy within us, wreaking havoc on our bodies, and obviously doing all sorts of harm to our physical well-being as well. Okay, so that is they are my number one tips to get you back into your body, back into yourself, so you're not losing it, you're not shutting down your conscious mind, not allowing your programming to take over. You become more aligned and able to handle the situation in an emotionally regulated state, and help co-regulate your children, because they are 100% connected with you. They need help co-regulating their emotions by feeding off your energy. So when you approach the situation with that calm energy, that automatically brings them down. It's calming them, maybe not instantly, but if you remain centered and calm as you talk to them, as you bring them in, it will eventually pay off. Okay, so now we're going to go into tips to prevent you from actually getting to that state in the first place. And so your own emotional well-being is number one priority, because if you as the parent are looking after the house, looking after the children, looking after all the responsibilities, the appointments, the meetings, earning the income to pay for all the things, you've got a lot of things to take care of. There are a lot of things on your mind, which obviously can create stress and overwhelm. So I could go on and on and on and on and on here. Many self-care practices, ways to look after yourself, things you need to eliminate from your life, massive evaluations of what's important to you and what's not, what can you let go of, all of that, all of those sorts of things. It is all very personalized for each and every circumstance. So I'm not going to go through it all. That would be more of a one-to-one conversation. And, that is where the real work happens, is working out how to get you into an aligned state of well-being, because that is what allows you to become the parent that you desire to be, that you can be. So I'm just going to focus, on mindset for starters. So when we start the day, how we start the day is vitally important. So the first things that we put into our body and the thoughts that we have when we start our day. Now, just going to backtrack 2 moments here. The way we end our day is also vitally important. So if we go to sleep, so when we sleep, it's a great way to shut everything down. When we sleep, we stop thinking. When we sleep, we reset. However, If we go to bed with the weight of the day on our shoulders, with the stories running over in our head of everything that went wrong that day, or the things that we've got to do tomorrow that we're already stressed about as we go to bed, then we're going to wake up sort of picking up where we left off that night. And we're already on the back foot as we start the day. And so to clear your mind before you go to bed is a fantastic way to get you ahead for the next day. So be that with a short meditation, even just a short meditation when you lay into bed, some sort of a releasing of all of the energies of that day, whether that be in the bath or the shower, whatever works for you, however you communicate with source energy, with earth, to take those energies from you. It might be a short yoga practice. It might be writing it all out in a journal. Whatever it is for you, and it doesn't have to be extravagantly long. Like I said, it could simply be in the shower, and then just choosing good thoughts before you go to bed, or productive thoughts that are going to help you for the next day. So rather than, oh my God, I'm dreading tomorrow, I've got that meeting. Oh my God, I hope I can get the kids out ready on time. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do if this happens? Like none of those thoughts. It'll just be, I'm looking forward to this tomorrow. I know I've got this in me. I know I can achieve this. I'm just going to work with the kids the best that I can, cooperating, everybody working together. I'm going to listen to their needs, because I know that listening to their needs and responding to their needs quickly will actually make for a faster time getting out of the door. So whatever it is you need to tell yourself. So going to bed with productive thoughts, helpful thoughts for the next day. And then again, starting your day in the same way. So even before you get out of bed, as soon as you're starting to wake up, you can already, as soon as your thoughts start to kick in, if you're like me, my mind is like in the morning, the moment I wake up, it's just going. But we can choose the thoughts that we are going to think, that we are thinking. And so we can just start off with simple, good thoughts. Oh, that was a good night's sleep. Oh, I'm so thankful that I got to have a sleep in my bed last night. Or just look for something small to be grateful for, anything small to be grateful for. And then as you get out of bed, continue on those small, positive, grateful thoughts. And then now you could have a full-blown morning practice. And I did actually make another training about this, but simple things in the morning to keep your thoughts in alignment with how you wish for the day to go. So that's the important thing. What you are wanting to manifest for your day, your morning, whatever it may be, keep your thoughts in alignment with how you wish for it to go. And then especially when it comes to your children, rather than being like, oh man, they're just so challenging at the moment. Oh man, the way that little Joey is just back chatting me at the moment is driving me freaking crazy. So when we say these things and when we're talking about these things that our children do that drive us crazy, we're putting our energy onto that. So here we're just sort of talking a little bit more about the law of attraction, but I'm going to dive into this a lot more in the next module. So it's just important to keep our thoughts on what we do want. So what we do, I love it when my kids play together nicely. It makes my heart sing, makes me feel good, those sorts of things, focusing on what our kids do that we do actually like. And then, so starting the day on the positive foot. So it could be like if you're up before your kids, you might have a little meditation, or if you get to have your own shower, you can do this in the shower. When you're making a coffee, sit down, like just be aware. Just be aware of your mindset and your thoughts. And then, sorry, just checking my notes here. And then it's just being aware of your internal state all the time. So it's recognizing when something's coming off balance and what do you need. And then it's a matter of seeking what you need. So whether it be that you need to ask for help, you need to take some time for yourself, listening to your body, eating well, keeping your physical being in good health plays a vital role in your emotional health as well. So it's being in tune with your body, listening to your body, and being on top of your self-care practices, putting your needs first, your well-being first, because when you are in a state of feeling good, raising your vibration, feeling energized, feeling clear-headed, you can then show up for everybody. You then can be aware of when you are getting overwhelmed. You then can implement the breathing to stop it from happening. So just keeping on top of all that every day, it's a daily practice. It's a continuation thing. It is, and the more you do it, that in itself is healing. You are your own healer. And just by doing those things, that is healing. And it will become easier and more effortless as time goes on. And then the reactions will start to slow down. However, also, there is the deep healing, because when we are carrying our trauma in our bodies, in our energy field, those triggers are going to continue to be there. And the more we override the triggers with the breathing, the less they are an issue. But sometimes we need to do a little bit more. We need to get a little bit deep to get those beliefs, release the energy around those old stories, those old programs, release it on a psychological level and an energetic level, and rewrite the programs. And that's where the coaching and the mentoring and the hypnotherapy and the energy work and everything comes in with me. So this is all very much surface level stuff, and it is extremely helpful. This is really good information to help you on your journey. But if you're struggling to implement it, and that's where it all comes down to, if you're struggling to implement it, why? Why? Because if you are dedicated to the journey, if being the best version of yourself is so important to you so that you can raise conscious kids, so that you can put an end to the generational cycles, so that you can be a leader of change, if this is important to you, if you are committed, then you will be committed to doing the work on yourself. Because in most cases, it's the only way to get there. So if you are committed to making change, and you would like to reach out, or like me to reach out to you via Messenger, and how I can help you get there, we can have a little chat on Messenger just as you have time, no rush, no obligations at all. You comment committed on this module and I will reach out to you. And that's it for now for this one. And in tomorrow's module, we're going to be looking at our energy and how shifting our energy has a positive impact on your children. And I'm going to be talking a bit about the law of attraction and applying the law of attraction to our energy field and our parenting. And so until that one, have a wonderful evening, morning, or day, whenever you're watching. And I'll be back tomorrow with the last module. Take care.